Hello, hey, hi, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have something a little bit different. Today, I want to see how many socks can I knit in a week. I'm doing this because in my last video, it was getting all of the Christmas things out of the way, but right now what I have the most of is socks. I'm giving my dad 2 pairs of socks, which means I need 4 actually knitted socks, and I've done 1, so that means we have 3. And here are my balls of yarn for our socks. I've done 1 of this one, so I'm going to quickly knock out this color, and then we're going to knit 2 of these. I also, whenever I first decided I was going to knit socks, I knit 1 for myself to make sure that I knew what I was doing before I started to make one as a gift. And so I would also like to make the pair of that one if possible this week. And then also I have extra skeins of both of these colorways, and so I wouldn't mind also making some for myself if I have time. This is a lot to do in a week, so we'll see how much I actually get done. Today is Wednesday, and so I'm going to give myself till the end of next Wednesday. The tricky part is next week. It is basically finals. I have 2 final presentations and a final exam next week. So we'll see how well I actually do. Luckily, knitting socks I'm able to do during normal class because it's pretty much just stockinette most of the time, unless you're working on the heel or the cuff or the toe. But honestly, it's not, once you get the hang of it, it's not super hard. It's just keeping track of where you are, which isn't that difficult for me. Let me know if you think how many socks am I thinking I'll make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the amount of socks I could make. I don't think we're going to be able to make all 8. I'm hoping for 4. That is my goal, is to make 4 socks or 2 pairs this week. Let me know if you think I'll make that goal or if you think that I am going to fail. I pretty much, what I normally do is I typically have a small project with me while I'm in class and then a big project with me while I'm at home, just because it's easier to do those bigger items whenever I'm here. Right now on my list, my big items are not quite due yet. They're due towards after Christmas, so I need to get these out of the way. So I'll probably just be sock knitting on end. There will be no other break. So yeah, I'm excited. Let me know how many socks you think I will be able to knit this week. And without further ado, let's get started. So I didn't record as much as I wanted to. It's now Friday. We started on Wednesday. But I have socks. I have 2 socks to show you. Obviously one was done in the Christmas video. I'm making all my Christmas gifts video. But then this one was done this week. As you can see, very similar. That's great. I made them the same size. Good job, me. So yeah, we have our first pair. One thing is this one, I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but this one looks a lot more saturated compared to this one, which is weird because I ordered them at the same time, and Hobie's typically very good at giving you the same dye lot. So I don't know why. I don't know if it's even noticeable on camera, but I can definitely notice, at least with my eyes. So hopefully that's okay. Obviously I still have to weave in my ends because I hate weaving in my ends, so I'm not gonna do it for as long as possible. I'm still not super sure about this heel flap, the heel turn. I like the reinforced heel flap. I think I'm gonna do that for the next pair, but this heel turn, I feel like it's gonna end up with like this little bubble. If you guys have made this kind of heel turn before, let me know if like you've experienced that before, or like whenever you actually put your foot in it, if it like somehow evens itself out. I honestly have a hard time believing that. So that makes me a little worried. I'm probably going to switch it out to do a different heel turn, but keep everything else. The construction of the toe is good. I like the heel flap, and then I like ending in the top. It's a little bit finicky doing this stretchy bind off, but I like how it turns out, how it's nice and stretchy, so that's good. This one did take me quite a bit of time to actually get started. I think it took me like 4 tries to actually get the toe. I either like somehow ended up grabbing the wrong needle because I'm using double pointed needles and it ended up twisting, or because it's really tight in the toe I drop stitches, or whatever it was. So it took me several tries, but once I got it, I got it and it was fine. So yeah, 2 socks, although 1 sock for this video. Whenever I started, I said I was going, what did I say? I think I said I wanted to make 8 socks, or I have the ability to make 8 socks this week. I very much do not have the ability. I have the yarn. I don't have the hand, like bandwidth, but hand width to make 8. So my new goal is 3, which is basically to finish all of my dad's socks. So he's getting 2 pairs. So this is pair number 1. And then this is the yarn that I have left. So now I have 2 of these kind of half-use skeins and then 1 full one, which will be great. Leftovers enough to make a nice small pair. And then this is the colorway for the second one. This one is a lot more tame, just some stripes of blue. So I will basically I'm gonna make the same size. I think the only difference is gonna be that heel turn. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this works up. It almost looks like it's gonna be a gradient, but it could also be just like stripes, and like the colors are just close together, so it like gives the illusion of stripes. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to see how it's going to work up. I will not be starting tonight. It is like 11:30, so it's bedtime. So we will start this tomorrow morning whenever I am mentally able to start a toe instead of being really tired and trying to deal with very small stitches in a very small circumference. I'm feeling pretty good with where we're at. If I'm making 2 more socks, I think we'll be on track for finishing on Wednesday. I have the weekend and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The problem is I have finals next week, or like I have 2 final presentations, a final paper to write, and an actual final, like, test. So that's really going to take a lot of time, Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'm hoping to get a lot of this done over the weekend, and maybe even get out like one of these socks like by the end of Sunday, so that I can start the next one and have like 3 days to do it. That's kind of my goal. Whether or not that's actually going to happen, who knows? Only time will tell. But yeah, that's kind of my plan. And that is, I think, all I have for you. So I will see you tomorrow. Please ignore hair situation. It's now Sunday night. I'm about to go to bed. Yesterday was Saturday, and I got up to the heel flap. I think I did like 2 rows of the heel flap, and then I was like, I had knit for probably like 12 hours. I knit the whole toe, the whole foot, and a few rows of the heel flap, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I probably knit for like 12 hours, like my fingers were hurting. So today, I needed to take a break because I did Saturday too hard. So I finished the heel flap and the turn and the gusset, and I've done a few rows of the actual leg, not that you can really tell. Tomorrow is Monday, which means I have class, which means I probably won't do nearly as much as I would like to, which means I probably won't finish this one tomorrow. So I'm thinking I'm only actually going to end up knitting 2.5 in a week, which is not great. But it's what we've come to, and we're just going to have to deal with that. But we're still going to try to get as much as we can done. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to take this and I'm going to see if I can get most of the leg, if not all of the leg done. The ribbing and cast off, that would be great. That would be amazing. Also, I love this, like, the way that this is coming out, this colorway. I think it's super cool. It's like that little bit of fun without being like too much and overbearing, like I think the other sock could be seen as. I also did a different heel turn. I wasn't a big fan of that kind of line up the middle. I thought there would be like a big like bubble in the heel, so I did a different heel turn. I don't know what it's called. I think this might just fit better. So yeah, tomorrow, get as much of the leg portion done. It is Tuesday night. I did some recording of things this evening, and I finished my leg, did my ribbing, and bound off. I saw a video today. So normally I've been finishing off my socks with Jenny's very stretchy bind off, or whatever it's called. And that's fine. However, the way that it's worked, because of the extra little loop, I was finding it so difficult and frustrating to get my needle in both of those loops to pull it off my needles and like over the third loop. And then just this morning I was just watching reels, like not wanting to start my work, and I saw someone do it with a crochet hook, and I was like, I own many crochet hooks and I crochet probably most of the time. So I did it with a crochet hook, and oh my gosh, it was so much easier. It was so much less frustrating. It went by so much faster. It's just all around so much better. And like, look how clean that is compared to my last one. Like, do you see the difference? It's amazing. Why haven't I been doing this before? I don't know. Anyway, great. Finished one more sock this week. I then started the second sock. However, it is very late, and I have not done that much. As you can see, there is one little toe starting to form, but it's still pretty small. I just went ahead and grabbed a brand new skein. There was a little bit left over from the other skein, but it really wasn't that much, so I just grabbed a new one. I did make this sock the next size up for a few reasons. The old sock, I am a little worried it might have been a little too small, that it won't fit my dad, and so I wanted to go a little bit longer. I also wanted to go size up in diameter because it wasn't far off from the first sock that I made that had 64 stitches. That was a little bit big on me, but I have pretty small feet, so I realized I might have to actually go up a size in order to meet the diameter as well, which also in turn made the ribbing much easier because I didn't have an odd number of stitches on each needle. Could I have moved a stitch over on 2 needles to make both of them even? Yes. I didn't do that. So I just made it much harder for myself for some reason. Whereas this, I didn't have to do that because it was a multiple of 4, so that meant I had an even number on each stitch. Or it was, well, the other one was also a multiple of 4. This was an even remainder of a multiple of 4. I had an even number of stitches on each needle, so it was much easier to do the rib. Yeah, I think this is also it's just fun enough to be oh, I'm wearing fun socks, but it's not in your face fun socks like the other ones were. So I think he honestly just might like these better. Since today is now Tuesday, tomorrow is our last day. I cannot knit anymore tonight. I am literally about to go to bed right after I finish recording this. So Wednesday is our last day. The problem is that I have a final presentation and a paper and a final exam in the next 2 days. So I don't know how much knitting time I'll actually be able to get done. My goal was a little far-fetched earlier this week. So whenever I said I'd bring it down to 3, apparently that was also really far-fetched. So my new goal is to get the foot portion. If I get to the heel flap, that's great. But my goal is to get to I don't even think I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to be so honest. But we're going to do our best. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you tonight. We'll see how I do tomorrow. It's Wednesday at 11:30, which means my time is up. It is very late at night and I can no longer knit. So here is my third and final sock. It's done. No, I'm kidding. It's not done. I actually did a lot more than I thought, which is nice. This was definitely a humbling challenge. I'm almost done with the foot. I have honestly 8 more rows. I just can't. I feel like I'm about to fall asleep. So these will have to not be done today. But I did get a lot farther than I thought I would, so that I'm pretty proud of myself for. Also, yeah, this was a lot harder than I thought. I knew that it would be a lot, especially with everything else going on this week, but I guess I didn't connect the dots of knitting takes time. Obviously I know that, especially small yarn, small hook, that takes a long time. But I don't know why I set out this week saying that I was gonna be able to or I have 8 different socks that I could make, and my goal is to make all of them. Yeah, no, that dream fell off the cliff pretty fast. But I am happy with what I've done, so that's really nice. So in total, we made 2 full socks, and like these are like pretty long socks too. I think I could have done more if it wasn't that they are very large socks, you know, large size feet, long kind of leg portion, and so I think like that took a lot of time. Like whenever the other ones that I would have made are for me, in which I have small feet, plus I don't want this much leg, I'd want like half this much leg. That's just the style of socks that I like, and so it wouldn't have taken so long, but these, like, this is what I bought this yarn for, is to make these exact socks. I'm also super happy that I found this bind off to do it with the crochet. It's gonna make these socks just that much better. I like the heel on these ones better. So I definitely learned a lot while doing this. It also provided me with a lot of time to be able to finish these for presents. Although this isn't a like making all of my Christmas presents video and is more of a challenge focused video, these are still Christmas presents. I just wanted to make it a challenge so that I felt more motivated to do it, because honestly I'm getting kind of socked out. This is now the 4th sock that I've made in a few weeks, and I'm starting to get tired of making socks. So well, luckily I have many other projects in the works and in my plans, so I don't have to make so many more socks as of yet. But that brings us to 1 pair and 1.5, which feels pretty good because like it's the beginning of December, so like I have plenty of time to finish these before Christmas. Yeah. Did you think I was going to be able to make all 8? Did you think I was going to be able to finish these 2 pairs? Let me know what you thought of this video, and if you liked it, whether or not you think I accomplished my goal. I guess I don't really know what my goal was other than to knit socks. So I think I accomplished my goal. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe so that you don't miss my next upload. I upload Thursdays. If you want to see more videos from me, go ahead and check out my channel. See what else I've posted, or if you want to follow along with this Christmas making journey or anything else that I make, why not hit the subscribe button? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.